All right, everybody, thank you for attending our second video around the Microsoft Azure subscription changing to Azure Plan. We did a video earlier about what that change is and why it's important. And this video, we want to talk a little bit more about the nitty-gritty of how you go about making the change, or the change is disruptive and things like that. So I'm Keith Godey. I lead the cloud practice for Stratos Cloud, and with me I have Tyler Bowman and Daryl Mole. You want to introduce yourselves, guys?
Sure. I'm Daryl Mole. I'm the principal cloud architect at Palacio and Stratos Cloud Alliance, and been in the industry for over 25 years.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Bowman. I am the director of e-com here at Stratos Cloud, and continuing to help manage and grow the CSP program.
Thank you, guys, and thanks for joining the video. Like I mentioned earlier, we talked in another video about what this change is and why it's important. So now let's really talk about how do you start making the change? How do you go about, as a partner, how do you place a Microsoft Azure Plan subscription order? How do you go about provisioning, procuring that?
So in this new world of Azure Plan, really the process isn't much different, right? So for the direct partner world, they would log in the partner center. They just spin up a new subscription. When we're talking about indirect partners, which is the vast majority of the partners out there in the Microsoft ecosystem, they would either contact their sales rep at whatever indirect provider they're working with, right, and have it spun up that way. And for those indirect partners or those indirect providers like Stratos Cloud, right, all the partner would have to do is log in, type in Azure Plan, and click purchase and spin that subscription up. And within moments, it'll be ready to go.
Sounds easy, right? But hey, so that's procuring new. What about everybody that's got existing subscriptions out there? Daryl, how do you convert those? Is it a complex process? Most importantly, is it disruptive?
Yeah, so the good news on that is it's a fairly simple process, and it is completely non-disruptive to the end client and the partner for that matter. There aren't any, it can be done in the middle of a day. The customer or the partner isn't going to notice anything while the process is going on, and it's fairly quick. The process to do it is you do have to contact your tier 1 provider. So as an indirect provider, we are the ones that would do the conversion from Azure subscription to the Azure Plan. And in that process, again, it's a fairly quick process. Once the request is made, we can go through and do that. And it's completely non-disruptive to both the end client and the partner.
So I don't need to rebuild my servers, reinstall anything, relicense anything, none of that.
No migration, no relicensing, no anything. Everything just kind of transfers over in the background. It's a shift on the Microsoft backend.
Gotcha. And then once these subscriptions are out there, whether they're new or we already made the change, is accessing this subscription and managing the subscription any different?
There's no difference in how you access the subscription or any of the resources within the subscriptions. The only thing that is a little different is you have access to cost management and some of the the new features and functionality that are enabled with Azure Plan. In doing that, obviously once that conversion is done, it does take a little bit of time for some of the the cost metrics and stuff like that to start rolling into cost management. So don't think that you're going to enable, switch it over to Azure Plan and enable the cost management piece of it, and 10 minutes later be able to go back and look at all your historical, cost management usage and analysis and stuff like that. It is from a right now going forward, and it does take a little bit of time. Usually within the first 24 hours, you start getting some information populated in there, and you can start seeing some stuff going forward.
Got it. So that's actually an important point. That consumption data starts the day you convert it. You're not going to
starts with the conversion. That is correct.
Got it. Tyler, let's talk billing. How does the billing now work with this change? Or is there any change?
So from a billing standpoint, there's a few changes, right? First and foremost, Azure consumption was sold in a buy at X, sell at Y, partner margin and indirect provider margin were built in that space, right? What we're seeing now is Microsoft's actually changing it from being a buy at X, sell at Y to straight out buy at Y with a partner credit. So that does do some changes to the way you recognize data or recognize revenue, does do some changes to how fast you're getting paid. However, overall margins haven't changed. But when we talk about billing the actual customer, cost management comes in, tool does some great work. But if you're using a provider's platform, let's say Stratos Cloud, where you're one of those direct partners who will have their own platform, right? The APIs are completely redone that pulls that data in. You'll have a whole bunch of data that you can parse through and fairly easy build reports to say, hey, this is the cost, this is the price, this is what we're billing at. Here's one lump sum, let's get it out the door, making billing a lot quicker.
No, that's great. So, but you hit on an important point there. So the hub is our Stratus Cloud commerce system, right? That partners can use to procure not just Azure Plan, but all of our products. Really, is the hub ready? Is the ready to accommodate Azure Plan? Is there anything?
So we were ready day one with the API provisioning capability. We made sure we were ready to go, and especially with our very tight relationship with Microsoft, we've been playing with these things for a couple months now. The important part is every day we continue to make changes to that. So as you know, we were working with a partner this week, a very, very large partner, and they said, hey, this would be great if it had, 2 columns with a total on the bottom. Because we understood the architecture, we got that out the door this week. And we continue to make changes to make it easier for our partners to be able to build stuff like Azure Plan, right? If you want to see every line of data and see what every line of the billing is, you can see it that way. You want consolidated? We'll give you that way too. So and your clients can know what the actual pricing looks like.
Yeah, that's great. And trying to keep a consistent experience with this product with any others, and good to hear that you guys are staying on top of what Microsoft's doing and changing and making sure that that's built into the hub roadmap and that it's there and accessible day one, like you said, for our partners. So that's awesome. Guys, anything else to add? Around specifics that partners should know about when they're making this change, or anything down the road that you think Microsoft's going to do in this space that you want to share?
You want to go first, Daryl? You want me to go?
No, I think we handled a lot. Like you said, the other video, the what it is, why it is, and this one, how to get started with it, and what any of the implications may or may not be. So all in all, a great story. Makes the process more efficient. Drives that self-service capability and things like that, which everybody wants.
And I will say, without divulging too much information, Microsoft's roadmap is really to enable clients and partners to work together in an ecosystem. A lot of the new functionality coming out in this Microsoft fiscal year will be the groundwork to what it's going to be going forward. You're going to see a lot more cost management. You're going to see a lot more clients being able to drive, which, some partners fear, right? And I think over the last, over the iteration of Marketplace and Hub here at Stratos Cloud, what we're noticing is we do want those clients to drive.
Yeah.
Because those clients already made up their mind, simplifying sales processes, bringing that sales process and that sales cost down so that, all partners are making more margin. Partners are now, instead of being those traditional, let's plug in, this OS and make this and do these updates and this patching and all this other stuff, where you still have to do some of it in Azure Plan. You're really now that technical expert.
Yep.
And Azure Plan kind of gives you the ability to, instead of let's talk about building out these servers, you can now have monthly meetings on, hey, this is what your spend is, right? Mm-hmm. What more workloads do you need? What do we need to do to kind of fine tune this, optimize this? And now instead of just being a show up, fix it, and leave, you're really that trusted advisor, which is really something we haven't seen very often from Microsoft or even in this IT provider space for the traditional infrastructure.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You hit on a huge point there. The next step in maturity of cloud is understanding that consumption and optimizing it, right? Now you've got more of those capabilities to be able to do that, make better decisions, potentially where you can save costs and things like that, or invest in the right spaces. from a technology standpoint. So no, thanks for that recap, Tyler. Hey guys, Tyler, Daryl, thank you as always for attending. Appreciate your knowledge in this area, and we'll have more information to come. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
You.